They didn't know that the troops at the Canadian border and the troops at the Mexican border that were getting ready to come in and invade the whole of the United States. President Lincoln was aware of the potential invasion, but the people inside were simply fighting over niggers, slaves, and being white. They didn't even see the other threat coming in, which is what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, the only reason that the United States was not totally overthrown where it was evident, because we're still being subverted, where it was evident was because the Tsar of Russia sent his naval fleet and parked his ships in the ports of San Francisco and in the ports of out of New York, not parked, but set up outside in the ports. And he told some people in Europe, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all need to back the hell up, because if any of y'all come across that Mexican border, because that's when I think I forget which country. I covered it on one of my shows. When the troops, if any of these troops come across the Mexican border or across the Canadian border, I will consider that a personal attack against Russia, and I am siding with Lincoln, and you will be at war with Russia. That is the only reason they didn't run across them borders and overthrow everybody while they were fighting on the inside and didn't see what Abraham Lincoln saw on the borders. He was like, the hell with this civil war on the inside. I'm dealing with this crazy shit coming across, trying to get across these borders. So right now, because the United States is helping these European alliance people trying to overthrow the whole of the United States because they're angry with the Europeans that got away and with the help of the nigger Americans that now think they're from Africa, and everybody's mad at us, and all we did was try to help, and that was a big mistake, obviously, because we're getting kicked aside the head for it. At the end of the day, what they're saying is, while the United States would be stabilizing all of these countries and disarming all of these countries, nobody, if the shit turns out like this, when they try to invade from the outside, the United States has created so many enemies and haters of the United States and America, almost nobody will be able to come to the aid of the United States the way the Tsar of Russia did, because everybody's been destabilized and disarmed, and all their weapons have been shut down and taken, or what they consider a threat. But the European alliance has all of their weaponry. So now if you have all of these enemies from around the world and only a couple of them have the power to stand up, but they're being bullied by everybody else and kind of cornered like North Korea and some places like this. At the end of the day, when they come in here and invade, everybody's going to be screwed because they don't even see these people coming because they think it's all about the black president and the niggers getting benefits and everybody's getting freebies and this, that, and the other. But most of the federal employees do look like melanin-rich people, so it's okay to try to destabilize that. And, you know, Claude Anderson tried to bring that to everybody's attention. Right now, most niggas that have jobs work for some level of government, federal government, state government, county government, city government, school districts, which are some levels of government. And if they privatize this and privatize that and privatize this and privatize that, that will take all the niggas with jobs out of jobs. This is something that can go to hell in a handbasket very, 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 very quickly. But these people, I have people that listeners in Canada that are concerned about how much land, especially farmland, is being bought up by so-called Jews dressed in full black regalia with their black hats and their curly cues on the sides, buying up all the lands and farmlands in Canada. It's like, nobody seems to be noticing that these people buying up. I'm like, you know what? They're strategically everywhere. When Russia was overthrown during the Bolshevik revolution, the Bolshevik revolution, a lot of these people called themselves the Young Turks. They were not Turks or Turkish at all. It was a bunch of so-called Jews claiming to be Turks that were sleeper cells inside Russia that helped to overthrow Russia, and they overthrew Russia as backlash because Russia had the nerve to come to the aid of Abraham Lincoln, and it took the Rothschilds that long to get back at them. And the Rothschilds and these other people are still waiting to get back at the United States for helping these Europeans get away off these goddamn colonies and whatever the case may be. The shit is still the same game going on, and people just don't see what they ought to see because all they see is color and all they see is stupidity, and they don't see the big picture, which is this shit can go to hell in a handbasket very, very quickly. There are people that are prepared to overthrow this shit from the inside and basically don't give a damn about you being white. You ain't us. And you're going down if you ain't us. And even if you're so-called Jew, they don't care because there was this one so-called Jewish dude, and then I'm going to let it go because I know other people want to talk and call in, and it's like, damn, you on a monologue like the other brother. But anyway, there are so-called people that want to get in here and well, yeah, I did, and I know I'm doing it, and my bad, but these people, and I lost my train of thought because I got all funny on some shit. But they better wake up and see what's going on. Because these people are ready to come in here and make a mockery of this stuff. There's this one dude, that's what it was, that's from the United States, a so-called Jew. an Ashkenazi Jew. He went and moved to the state of Israel. He relocated. He found one of these Sephardic Jews, and he married a Sephardic Jew or got involved with a Sephardic Jew. All his Ashkenazi homies started treating him like their ass. What's the problem? This is Israel. This is our country. We're all Jews here. Everybody's a Jew here. What's wrong? You know what they told him? You have stepped outside of the bloodline you're supposed to participate in. If you marry outside of these 6 particular women, you are no longer one of us. We only marry within this group. And they started treating him like a pure D outsider, like a complete asshole. He was like, you know what? Y'all on some whole other shit. Y'all crazy. He got his ass up out of there and brought his ass back to the United States. I'm done. He came back here because he realized they were crazy over there. And people don't understand that they're crazy over there. But the people at the top are not the same as everybody. They're not the same. They're Nazis. They're not the same. A lot of them are Talmudic, which is different from Torah. So I'm just saying, people better wake up and see what's up. This shit can go real bad real quickly. But people are still trying to overthrow the United States, and they're turning the hot water on a little at a time. We let you know a year ago that this was going to happen. Now we shut down certain parts of the United States. In another month or two, if we don't figure this out, we're going to shut down some more and then shut down some more. Then y'all going to be fighting over food and water and gas and eating one another and killing one another and kidnapping one another and selling body parts and organs just to eat. And it's going to get real crazy if people don't wake the hell up. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I was like, well, thank you all for tuning in. No, I'm just kidding. That was good information, though. And you know what? And it was funny that you said, well, not really funny, but you were saying something about that that the rest of the world, you know, is hating America or U.S. or whatever it is. Because I was just talking to Sis earlier before the show, and I was telling her about this African brother that I worked with when I was in the workforce. I worked with this African brother, and he had to go renew his visa. And I asked him, I said, why don't you just become a citizen of the U.S.? I'm not understanding why you got to keep going back and I don't know if they do it every 2 years, 4 years. I don't know how many years they have to wait to do their visas or every year or whatever. But I said, why do you have to keep renewing that? Why don't you just become a citizen since you live here, you work here, you work at the prison, you got your state job. Why are you not becoming a citizen? And he says, get an American passport? Are you crazy? He said, they hate you in the rest of the world. And I said, what? He said, oh, no. He said, it's dangerous to travel the world with a U.S. passport. And I was looking crazy, because, I'm thinking that everybody wants to come to America. Everybody wants to be in America, live in America, and be Americans. And he's telling me, no, y'all ain't all that no more in the rest of the world. And so I just thought I'd bring that up because you just said something about that the rest of the world is trying to, people got their stake or got their eyeballs up on this land over here. Okay.
That's real tough. What they want to do is come to this country so they can make revenue and then ship it back to their various countries across the borders and overseas or wherever. Because this money at one point would make them wealthy at home, but this dollar is becoming almost nothing around the world. Go ahead.
And that's exactly what he was doing because he lived here and he lived like 4 or 5 other dudes, and they was making the money, sending it back home to their wives, their mothers, their fathers, or whatever. They were shipping the money back there.
That's what's wrong with this economy, sis. Nobody's generating revenue in this economy. They're not spending money here. And while people are talking about budget this, budget that, and all the money they don't have, well, why don't you stop sending some of the United States? Talk about welfare. The United States is financing and funding so many countries around the world, including the state of Israel. Billions and trillions of dollars are spent every year of the people's money from the United States to hold up other countries that hate this country, including the state of Israel. While you're giving everybody our money, the people's money, you turn around and tell people, we got money for you. We giving them your money, but we ain't got nothing for you. We have to turn shit off for y'all. That's what's going on. Go ahead. I'm sorry. My bad. Shit.
That's real, though. That's real, though. Those of you who are listening, if you want to say something, you can. 646-716-7572. I'm going to take another call, and I do want to get to this list because I do have a list for those of you who are, if you're like me, I really am not into politics. Everything I'm telling you, I actually went and did some research because I don't keep up with it like that. And I was really trying not to be involved with that, but my sister was telling me earlier, if you're going to be, talking about issues and problems and stuff, you got to know what's going on in the government. I'm like, shit. But those of you who want to say something, I'm going to go to the phone line and do that. Somebody got their hand up. Don't forget you got to press the number 1, otherwise I won't know that you want to talk, okay? 860, if you haven't fallen asleep. Peace and love to you, King.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I do that at a second. Hi.
Peace. Yes. So one thing I would have to say, since the government has so-called illusioned the public that they shut down, I wonder how long this shutdown is going to really last. Since they said this is not the first time they shut down. They said it shut down 18 years ago from their resources.
Yeah.
That's my question.
And that lasted 21 days, so that's supposed to have been the longest one they ever had, according to what I was researching.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I guess we don't know.
Wow.
I see.
Yeah. Well, anyway, is that it, King? Is that your question or statement, or you got understand?
What else I could say? I'm surprised y'all based on the show tonight. I thought it usually comes every end of the month.
Yeah, I did, but the sister reached out today and said, "Hey, we're talking about the government shutdown. Would you care to join us tonight?" And I said, "Sure. Let me know when the link is up." She said, "The link is up." So I put it on my website, and I came on.
Oh, wait, isn't there one incident I never did mention? Since they already got...
all I'll be. What'd you say, King? I'm sorry. I was being funny.
Since they do got the foreign troops on these borders already, I guess they are trying to start some infiltration already, since they already got military troops from other countries up here now. Since they shut down, they might do something more bigger that people are not aware of.
People have been trying to take over the United States since our ancient ancestors, the autochthonous American so-called Negroes that were found here, helped set up the American government, and then helped the Europeans set up the United States and attach it to our stuff to liberate them from their oppressors. That's why there are two governments here. One is dormant, and the United States is active.
I see. All right. Well, they're sitting down the round table. If anything else comes to thought,
Go find House Resolution 331 if you haven't seen it yet. And thank Asir for bringing that to everybody's attention.
Peace. Okay, I do have a question from the chat room. Liberty Remorse asks, when are you going to drop a few more lectures, Dr. Yaffa?
Oh.
Or are you talking about Kenya? Which way, you talking about Kenya or Dr. Yaffa? I'm joking. You're talking about Kenya. Are you talking about Dr. Yaffa?
I don't know what I'm going to lecture on. I'm just kidding.
I'm not going to be doing, the only thing I'm going to do whenever I locate my notes, and every time I go and put on the Wake the Hell Up Wednesday link, I make a note on the notes. I'm still looking for my notes. When I find my spiritual notes, I'm going to do one webinar. It's going to be probably $10 a person. One webinar on spiritual stuff only. There are things, and I'm going to be on where you can see me. I'm going to do it on my webcam so people can see me and see what I'm doing. That's the only thing I'm going to do. I'm not speaking. I have a 4-year-old. I'm not going anywhere. Other than this show, this is it. You're probably one of those individuals that does not realize that I'm on the Wake the Hell Up Wednesday show on the last Wednesday of every month because Empress T wanted to give me a forum. She was like, Sister Yaffa, we want you to have your own forum. Pick a Wednesday, any Wednesday, and you can have that show all to yourself, all by yourself. And I told her I have a 4-year-old, and my listeners would have to spend most of the time listening to me screaming and hollering at her and leave me alone because I'm on the phone. So I don't want to do it by myself. What I will do is I will do the show with your panel, and you guys can fill her for me when I have to hit mute sometimes to put her in check. And every now and then y'all still hear me hollering, I am on the phone, this kind of stuff. So the sister was like, okay, well, we'll do the show with you to be filler But then, I come on Wednesdays and people usually monologue over me, which is what I was saying earlier when they started laughing.
Yeah.
But I'm on this Wake the Hell